What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to this crypto update, and we're gonna talk about something very special today because so many people are insanely clueless about the market. So we're gonna talk about where the market is heading. There's a plan behind it. One of the sickest tools I found for crypto that you guys can use to follow the biggest traders and see what they are trading. It's an insanely easy and free tool. So check it out and let's start it. So the first thing we want to talk about is that I defined for now finally a theory that had a couple of weeks in my mind. I already spoke about it. I will also link below the newest crypto update that I did, 2 scenarios for crypto off chart from my value channel. And the first thing I said is 2025 market and global outlook. Markets short-term, mid-term bearish, turning bullish by the end of 2025. General 2020 to 2024 exposed a lot of flaws. 2025 will be fast moving and chaotic, bringing big opportunities for new ideas and systems, right? So we are not seeing a global shift only in the markets, because the market is the reflection of the whole world, the people, psychology, because psychology makes price, and then also obviously economy and states or countries, right? And everything is a little bit mixed up right now. Nothing is as it was before, and that's why so many people are insanely clueless, right? Another thing that I have written is even more important is basically this year. Okay, part one. I have been thinking about that a lot and think I got it. Okay, Trump is a G. Everyone's planning to crash the market the moment he steps into the White House. Imagine the pressure. He comes in like a boss, plays around with tariffs, and slowly takes the market down step by step like a staircase, bringing them back to fundamental stability. Then boom, markets pump, especially crypto. He and his team are stacking, ordering BTC as reserve currency, as we had in the last update since Trump announced the executive order and executed on it, basically, that crypto, Bitcoin, Solana, and so on is now a currency reserve or a reserve currency. Now imagine when everything pumps, he's the guy who orchestrated a controlled crash instead of a total meltdown, then drives it all back up, making America insanely rich. And when his hit turns up, or basically his term is done, he walks away as a legend, right? And I truly believe that's happening in the market right now. And if we go into the market, you will see that, right? We see a controlled crash. We see, instead of it just completely crashing to 50% correction level, right? Which we talked about a lot. From the top down here, right? As you guys know, from the top down to the 50% correction level, it's 27%. We have more space to go, and even more where you see it is it in a dollar, because Trump wants a lower dollar, right? So every time he plays with these tariffs, and that's what he's doing, he announces them, he takes them back again, he changes the percentile, then he goes up again, then he announces new ones, then he doesn't execute. That's like a controlled way of slowly stepping the market down. So instead of the market basically doing this year, right, just like crash completely, and he's going to be effed for it because he's the president that crashed the market, and that's the pressure that the other oppositions, the other people want to force at him. There was one big theory in the beginning of the year that once Trump steps into the White House, we already talked about that. We have the real estate market, especially the real estate market for businesses, right? That is about to crash or could crash. So many people are saying stocks are going to crash, all of these things, and that is what we need to see, because markets basically has done this over the last years. Yes, we have a little bit of corrections, but if you go into the S&P 500, if you go into Nvidia, for example, right, market basically has just been pumping over years. Like this chart, this is unhealthy. We are starting the slow correction, right? Same thing goes for the S&P. If we go into the S&P together, you guys will even more understand what I mean. So let's go into the S&P 500, and that's what I mean, right? It's just like completely blown over the top. So our natural correction level would be from now 56%, right? So as a president, you now have two options. If you have all of this pressure, your opposition forcing you and trying to crash the market, and basically you have two opportunities. You either take the market down in stairs, right, like this kind of, or you just like this happens, right? And this is very bad. So scenario number two, if this is two and this is one is what is happening now, two is very bad and will leave a very bad mark on his term, right, as a president. So markets need to correct. They're overbought. This is complete BS, right? This is unnatural. This is because of money supply, because we had a lot of money supply to come back from this correction after COVID pumping up the markets. But we need a correction, a healthy one, to continue. We cannot just continue, right? We had smacked all-time high after all-time high after all-time high after all-time high, because when he came into presidency, obviously the dollar raised a lot. The economy had like a basically buy the news and then basically sell the event kind of reaction. Like always, we see that in crypto. So once he stepped in, every market started to pump without any reason for that. Okay. Same goes for the crypto market. Again, the crypto market is pumping because he signed an executive order, but this executive order does not include new assets that are bought, not new Bitcoins, old Bitcoins, the ones that they already have. So there's nothing happening in that sense, right? It's completely emotional. So we need to correct. If you ask any big trader investor, they always say we need to correct, we need to correct, we need to correct. But how do we correct? So I truly believe, and that's what I've written down, that this is planned. It's a planned correction step by step, and that's very smart because like that he's taking the markets down slowly. And again, if we go back into the dollar index, that's what we're seeing right now, right? And that's what actually happened over here is that Trump came into power. Then you see this insanely large red arrow here, which marks the market just pumping and going up. And then we're slowly starting these corrections, right? And they are beautiful corrections. They're beautiful because market comes down, recorrects, right? Overreacts a little bit because that's when the tariffs came in, okay? Then slowly starts to go lower. Now we have a lower US dollar, which is very positive so far. That's Trump's plan, right? But therefore also all the other markets are reacting insanely to it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm, again, short-term and mid-term, I'm very bearish, okay? So you should primarily look for bearish sequences. Now, the question is that many people say that many people are still very bullish, which I think makes no sense. We have talked about it multiple times, especially if we go back into Bitcoin here, then you will see what I mean. Let's just completely finish over here, right? Many people are still very bullish, or most people don't even talk about crypto anymore right now because they're overwhelmed. They don't know what to say. All their predictions went to shit. And my prediction was the 125K, but it will still do it, but it didn't do it now. And that's okay because we need more stability in the market. So I truly believe what we're seeing right now, this correction will cause the stability then for higher prices because no one just wants to get in when Bitcoin goes sideways. They want it for cheaper prices. So I'm still midterm and short-term bearish. As you can see, I'm waiting for Bitcoin to hit about 89,000. I'm in a very small sell here, and I will re-enter a more heavy sell over here once we come to this zone, okay? Because we still have space to the 70,000, which is a 15% trade. From here, it's like a 15% trade, and from here, it would be like a 20% trade, something like that. Yeah, 20%, okay? So it's a good trade to take. Now, why am I saying that? It's because the theory that I talked about first. It's a controlled takedown of the market instead of crashing it, which would normally happen. And then again, it's very bad news for Trump, and that's not good. So it's very, very smart what they are doing with the lower dollar, all of these news, not following through on a lot of things that they have said. And then one thing that got me thinking a lot is that there's a tool, and that's what I said in the beginning. It's insane. You have to save that hyperdash.info. I will put the link below so you can check it out. Hyperdash is completely for free, and what you can do here is you can click on Trader Insights and it will show you the positions of these traders, okay? Now the cool thing, and I will also put the link below, is I found the address that did the $200 million trade before Trump announced the executive order. So this guy currently, what he is doing, he is shorting BTC with a 40x, which is $300,000 in profit right now. And he's longing hype, which is currently in minus. But you can do another thing is you can go into these trader insights, and then there's wallet suggested traders, okay? And what you can do, you can open these traders, and they're heavy traders, right? As you can see, this guy has a total value of 8 million, okay? Let's see what this guy is currently doing. He is selling Ethereum short, $4 million in profit. He's selling hype, $1 million in profit, selling Solana, $1 million in profit. So short. Everything is short besides Jelly, which did a very good pump, but should have closed this position, but everywhere short, okay? We can check another wallet. All these wallets are primarily short, completely shorting the market, and that means if people with 12 million, 8 million, whatever millions are shorting the market, you need to be careful. Ethereum, he's long, he's in minus, rest, he's completely short, and then there's another one on IP long. All of these trades are completely short. He has Fartcoin short 2 million, Hype 1 million, 471. It's kind of funny because all of these wallets are basically doing the contrarian of this $200 million wallet that basically bought BTC before the executive order, right? And everyone talked about it, that this is insider, blah, blah, blah. But he's longing hype, everyone else is selling hype. So they're like on Twitter completely taking this wallet and doing everything opposite of what he's doing. But the Bitcoin short, I think it's a little bit too early. He has an 85,000 liquidation price, which would basically mean once we go up here, he will be liquidated somewhere over here. So he doesn't have a lot of space, but that's okay. I truly believe we're going to go to the 89 and 89, sorry, or nearly 90 and then correct back. So I am short on BTC. I still remain long for now on Ethereum, very low risk on all of the trades. I remain long on Solana, also very small risk, very small stop loss, and I'm long Popcat right now. These are the only trades and some of the trades that I found these traders trading on these Hyper Dash wallets. And the cool thing is you can see all of their trades and how they are performing and if they are short, where their stop losses are. So something to consider when you're entering trades right now or even in the future. I've never heard of about HyperDash. There was other tools, but they're very complicated and cost money. But here you can easily see their trades. And as you can see, here's another wallet with 7.6 million, sorry, 11 million total value. This guy is shorting BTC with a 40x $1 million in profit. He is in a very big short on Ethereum with 10,000 but 25 leverage. Hype, he's shorting 100 or nearly $200,000. XRP he's longing, ADA he's longing. So very interesting. He has some longs and some of them are in profit. Most of them are still in loss. So very, very, very short. Market overall, very, 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 very short. So as you can see, he has 6.2 million buys and $34 million in sells. Every wallet you will find is basically completely bearish, and you should not go against that in that sense, right? You should definitely not do that. So I'm very interested right now in continuously observing these wallets when they turn bullish. But for now, as you can see, here's one guy, he's longing, which is pretty okay because I also agree that we still have some potential to go up in Bitcoin right now. I wouldn't buy it, but selling right now is still a little bit difficult because we have a bullish sequence active over here, and the bullish sequence perfectly finishes into the selling zone. So I truly believe we're still going to see that. If you want to trade this up, you can. I will not do it. I will start to sell heavier over here. That's also why my timer is on and I'm going to wait. Okay. Besides that, he has some long, his Ethereum long has 400 in profit. I agree and disagree. Maybe very, very, very short term. The next days we could see an increase, but then from there on we are very bearish again. Now, if we go into the heat map and into the open orders, you will see for Bitcoin USDT on Binance that we have a lot of buy orders over here. That's why we are reacting bullish. But then once we hit the 89, okay, the 90, we have a very strong sell order, and then we have, or sell orders, and then we have another one at 95. So if we go back into the analysis, 80 starts here. So basically in this zone, which is our selling zone, perfectly goes into our system, we have a lot of sell orders. So I truly believe we're going to see the high to the 89, 90,000 and then really sell off again. So I'm just going to do that, guys. So I'm short Bitcoin, I'm long Ethereum, I'm long Solana, I'm long Popcat, very low risk, but this is going to be a bigger trade that I'm going to do with more risk once we hit here into this 80,000 range, and then I'm going to sell Bitcoin heavily, okay? Another very important thing is when we go into the outlook of the future, okay? There's three important things we need to look into. That's the EWM, the EWC, and NVIDIA. The EWM, which is an ETF iShares Russell, right, shows us a little bit earlier where the market is going, okay? Because as you can see, he topped out at November 2024 in Bitcoin. All of the other markets, we topped out January somewhere, okay? Let's check it again. But if I go into Bitcoin right now, you will see we topped out in 20th of January. So that was about a month later. So you can use the IWM, the IWC, and NVIDIA to call tops and turns in the market, or like bottoms, pretty well because it starts to react a little bit earlier. The reason for that is because in the Russell, for example, there's more mid companies, and they tend to react a little bit more to inflation and all of these kind of things, right? So right now, as you can see, we have a bearish sequence active, and it seems like we still have a lot of space to go. So that's the the short and mid-term bearish market that we are seeing. And once we hit basically here the 170, so another 20-30% to go, another 15% to go, 16% to go, but total 30% correction. Yeah, we could start to see the markets turn, okay? So probably what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna take a very good look and continuously observe IWM, because what we probably are gonna do is something like this, and then from there on we're going to start to pump again, right? And that should be towards end of this year. Okay, that's where most people are seeing the markets right now. The same thing goes for IWC. IWC is also an ETF, and you can also see here on the IWC that we are reacting out of bullish sequence, but we are coming back down to it. So here, this is very, very interesting. Okay, if we go into the weekly, it already started to top out on March 15th. Okay, basically here, then started to come down, and then react bullish again, but still reacting again bearish. Okay, coming into this sequence over here, which we need to see if it's already finished. Let's check that out for 1 second. So this here, yeah, so this one is already finished. So it's like a little bit of mixed signals, and you can also see that with all of the other traders. Net, most people are short, right? There are some believers, and we see a little bit of a confirmation in EVC here, and it's more like I found it from one of the podcasts from one of the traders VPs, called one of the little traders I follow long term, since 8 years now I listen to him. You can check it out. His YouTube channel is called No Nonsense Forex. And he said, let's give him some credit, because he's actually someone that imprinted a lot of value into my trading mind. No Nonsense Forex, okay? Here, Big Bangs is the first video I learned from him, but basically if we go into his YouTube channel, there's one YouTube video you can check, and that's funny because after I formed my theory about Trump, I went to watch his video, Canaries in the Coal Mine, where he speaks about these indices and exactly the same thing that I speak about, because it's logic. If you are on the market every day, these signs, what Trump is doing, this is not bullshit. That's not something that happens randomly. This is planned and controlled, right? So he also says in his example that the EWC, EWM is like a canary, it's like a bird that they used in the mines to send them to see if they come back, because if not, it means there was pocket of like some gas or something where these birds then would die. So the workers, the coal mine workers, they would know they cannot furthermore go into the coal mine because there's a certain gas that kills them, which no one can see, and there was no technical electronical tools for that back in the time. So what they used to do is use these birds and send them in, and if they die, they die, and then they know they cannot go further, right? So kind of interesting. And he's saying that's kind of the same way you need to approach the market right now. We need to have indicators, tools, whatever strategies to see when the market turns. And we can see here in the IWM that market started to top out here on November. That's 1 month later when Bitcoin started to top out and the US dollar started to top out and so on. The same one is Nvidia. And Nvidia topped in December 26th, a month earlier, and then we started to turn, right? And that's interesting that if EWM and let's say even Nvidia, they top or they turn, right? Markets turn too. So now we are turning bullish again a little bit. So in the next couple of days or weeks, we should see Bitcoin turn. And then once it's here, right, it will react bearish again. And then a couple of weeks later, we will also start to react bearish again. So that confirms 100% what I just say about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin will still go up a little bit to 90,000 and then drop again, right? That's when we hit here, the re-entry basically, right? So it's like kind of a month later, a couple of weeks later of what happens in Nvidia and IWM and IWC is what's going to happen in these markets, okay? And we need to test that theory, but it looks pretty well. I've checked all the timestamps and everything. So same for here. What's going to happen is now we're going to turn bullish. A couple of weeks later, Bitcoin goes bullish. Then we react bearish here. And then we react heavily bearish to the 70,000 for Bitcoin. So take a look and save these ones. Very, very interesting. For me, it looks very well. Obviously, that's not the only thing I'm going to base it on. But understanding Trump's decision, where the market is going, seeing our entries and our strategy, the SK system, combining it with these coal mine canaries or whatever you want to call them, these birds, these examples, right? And also understanding that every trader basically in crypto is now insanely short is very, very interesting concept, right? So all of that is what I'm going to use, and I will also put this YouTube channel. He really is insane. You should listen to his stuff. I will put it below, okay? But all in all, guys, we continue to focus on Bitcoin and waiting for our short. If you want to be sure that you get this trade, make sure you follow and you join the free Telegram channel, either my value channel or even better is the free 15-minute channel, because that's where these trades then will be posted, right? Ethereum, I remain a little bit long because I truly believe we're going to see Ethereum pump first, and Solana also remain pretty long. All in all, my opinion is continue to DCA in. I will continue to DCA and buy position, accumulate more crypto. I don't really care. I'm in crypto long term, but short term, if you want to make 20, 30, 40%, I wouldn't buy now. I would wait a little bit until we really have a turn in the market, because it pretty much looks like that we're going to see a April, May, June, July, August, and then probably September. So the next 4 or 5 months pretty bearish, and then have a very, very big turn. So I believe something like this is going to happen in the market, and I'm just going to mark it down. I believe we're going to see something like this, okay? And then we're going to, over the summer, this is going to be the summer period, and then afterwards see something like this, okay? Pretty sure about that. So that is my current game plan. Risk off, be careful, make sure to DCA in if you believe in crypto, right? But that's what I'm doing, just buying these positions, just accumulating more coins. But also being very careful and off risk when it comes to trades, smaller stop losses. You don't need to have smaller stop losses, but I would, as you can see in Solana, I would not trade the whole correction level and down to here. That's like 50-60%, but just smaller ones, and see. Next days, probably this or next week, we're gonna go up a little bit, and again, midterm or short term and midterm, then bearish. Okay, when we really bottom out, we don't know yet. For that, we need to see our experiment over here, our theory, but it looks pretty good, guys. Okay, and as you can see, EVC, EVM, or EWM, EWC, and Nvidia is starting to react bullish again, which could be a sign that the next day's markets will follow, and therefore then correct down again, and then see what's happening. Okay, and yeah, with that being said, guys, check the links out below. It was very nice having you. Let's see where these markets go. But as we said in the past, if we don't hit the 125k, which is the 127, 125k, we need this correction. We are approaching this correction. We are building stability to finally come back to these prices and have a very good run up in the future, right? And we have the potential to even correct more, because if you take the whole correction level over here, there would be another level which is 62,000, but I better believe not that that's where we're gonna go. But the potential is there. As you can see, that would be a clean 50% correction, which is normal. In Forex, this happens all the time, for us then to go up. And since you maybe don't believe that, I will show you a couple of trades in Forex where this is completely normal. And I said it multiple times that the markets are moving more like Forex nowadays. And as you can see, for example, here in AUD USD, we have our low, we have our high, we have our 50% correction, and from there on we bounce back. In Bitcoin, what we're doing right now, we have our push up, and we are somewhere over here. Okay, that's where we are right now, and we want to go here. We could still go to the 50% somewhere over here, and then really increase and go to these 27k. That's normal. It happens all the time in Forex. And as I said, crypto is becoming very much like Forex. Same thing goes here. We have our high, we have our low, 50% correction. Same thing goes here. We have our low, we have our high, 50% correction. Same thing goes here. We have our low, we have our high, 50% correction, and then that's where we are right now in Bitcoin. Okay, that's basically the same chart 101. And as you can see, this drops like shit, and I'm selling it. So that's just how the markets work, guys. And I'm saying they are very close to being like Forex markets, because we are in more institutionalized markets. Check the links below, follow and like. See you in the next one.